So that was what we call a sikha, and of all of our prayers, that is considered the most sacred. The rattle song. When you're praying with rattle, it's connecting to your ancient spirit. And in this sikha, it is saying over and over again to hold on and cherish what you love the most, what you value the most. So in terms of our Huu-ay-aht family, it talks about, it repeats it over and over again, the same thing, to hold that close to you, what you cherish. And the first part is intended to be your family, our tribe, our village, all of these different things, that, what we value the most, that we should hold it close to our heart. So that's what the sikha is singing all about. It's just about respecting and caring for one's family, and that what we care for the most. And that is a rattle song, an ancient one that belongs to Ǳlīis and the House of Apwinisat. And one of the things that I'd like to say, what does it mean? What does it mean to be a Huu-ay-aht? It means that we're the people of resilience. It means that we have shown resiliency in the face of natural disasters, of earthquakes, of mudslides and tsunami. We've shown resilience in the face of hunger and famine. We've shown resilience in the face of war and conquest. And of our newest challenges, in light of colonization, we've definitely shown resilience in the face of disease and fighting for our people. And we've had bouts in our history of smallpox, of TB, tuberculosis, and even the common flu, which was not so common to our people. So we've definitely shown resiliency to this. And in our stories, in our history, our people used to go to Huu-ay-aht Island, or they would go to somewhere secluded when they wanted to quarantine themselves from the rest of the world, from disease, from illness. So they would know what to do to take care of themselves, that they needed to get into their own little bubble. So this is nothing new to our people. I realize that there may be a great deal of struggles in 2020, with just our whole mental health and our well-being, because we are by nature social creatures. So we want to be out, we want to be with our family, we want to be having those gatherings, but for the time being, I think it's best right now to adhere to those rules of, what are the guidelines that are set out for us, the parameters that are set out, because we want to do this to take care of ourselves so that we can cherish and hold our family that we value so well and so much, so that we can always have that. So that is what we wanted to say here today, and wanted to come and to sing this chant here today so that we could just kind of put out those good vibes, for taking care of one another, because our holistic selves, our well-being, it's so important that we take care of our spirit, we take care of our emotions, we got to take care of ourselves, to get through this. So I just wanted to say that to you on behalf of Ǳlīis, the Huu-ay-aht Council, and the Huu-ay-aht First Nations, to share that message with you.
Hello, Huu-ay-aht citizens. As Chief Councillor Robert Dennis, Huu-ay-aht First Nation. I'm here speaking to you today because I have a huge concern for the surge of the COVID-19 virus in British Columbia, and in particular to Vancouver Island. This is where it becomes very concerning for myself and for the Executive Council. And we do know that any spread will have a very serious impact on our nation. And we want to make sure that our elders and our vulnerable citizens are looked after. And I want to start today with something that some of you may think, oh, this isn't as bad as it is. It isn't a serious thing, we don't need to listen to all these rules coming out from the province. Well, my niece, my late niece, Marcia Thomas, had that same attitude. She said, I'm just going to go visit some friends. It's the same group that I always go to. So she went to visit them. And unfortunately, she caught the COVID. And she was in the hospital for quite a few days. And then she passed away just recently. And I don't want to see another Marcia Thomas in our nation. We have to take serious action to prevent that from happening. And the only way we can do it is that we work together, that we take this COVID-19 seriously. We do things that are going to ensure the safety of our citizens, but we all have to work together. The Executive Council cannot do it by itself. The Executive Council can make rules and stuff. We can support provincial orders, but at the end of the day, it's the Huu-ay-aht citizens that are going to make this work. We're the ones that can prevent the spread of the virus, but we got to roll up our sleeves and get really busy on what we do. And so in terms of what we want to do as Huu-ay-aht First Nation, our Executive Council has met, and we've taken some very serious action and some very what I call our legitimate decisions. Number one, we're concerned about the residents in Łiiqnh. We have 21 elders here in Łiiqnh, and those 21 elders are vulnerable to the COVID-19. That's that most of the deaths that occur now are older people, 65 and over. So we have to do our part to protect our elders. And one of the things we will do down here is that we're going to put up the gate again, and we're going to monitor and check people as they come and leave. And one of the things we want to know is if somebody goes somewhere and they come in touch with someone, we should know about that so that we can trace in case somebody does get it. And a lot of times, when people go somewhere, they don't even know that they've come in contact with someone. But if you can keep a mental note or even a written note of anyone that you come in touch with, just in case. And right now, we have a number of Huu-ay-aht living in Port Alberni that have contacted the COVID-19. And so we have to take this serious. We can't afford to have this spread to any of our citizens in Port Alberni or in Łiiqnh. So, let's just listen to the provincial orders that have been posted and read out by Dr. Henry. No events or gatherings whatsoever. And that means visiting family. And that means that you just stick to your own household. Don't go visiting your other brothers or sisters or aunts and uncles in different towns or even in different houses in the village. I'm seeing that down here now, that Robert, you don't go visit anyone else. You just stay home. Isolate yourself in your home so that you don't risk the spread. Don't travel off the island. It may be legal to travel off the island, but it's wiser for us as Huu-ay-aht people. Let's protect our people by not traveling. Don't travel to Łiiqnh to visit family or friends, because you might be carrying the virus home with you if you're not from Łiiqnh. And then if you live elsewhere in the province, do not leave your community to travel. Stay in your own house. That's the best thing you can do. Just stay within your own house. Masks are mandatory. In Huu-ay-aht now, within our government offices, I think we call it remote operations, where only a certain amount of people are allowed to work in our government offices now. And anyone that works in the office, they have to wear a mask. Do that in your home too. Like if you go out somewhere, wear a mask, always have a mask. And I always like to look at the Asian countries that they wear masks and they have the lowest, the lowest rate of infection So it's important for us to, learn from other jurisdictions, and certainly all the other rules. The social distancing. Always stay apart from each other. Wash your hands as frequently as you can. If you got to sneeze into your arm. And those are all important things. And so I'm urging our people to play a bigger role in preventing the spread of the COVID virus. The Huu-ay-aht Executive Council has decided to reinstate the gate and the monitoring checkpoint at Anakla. There will be a gatekeeper who will be monitoring people coming and going. And if you leave Upper or Lower Anakla, please check in with the gate crew upon returning. That's going to be very critical. And this is necessary to support our nation with contact tracing, so that if and when someone becomes ill, we will be able to notify citizens who may need to self-isolate. This is our way of, let us do more than what the province's order is giving out. And so we just want to do our part to monitor people that come into the community. And more important, the people from here that do go out, that they only go out, do their grocery shopping, get to Port Alberni and return as quickly as they can. And do your best not to come into any contact with anyone outside of the community. In other words, if you go to the store, go to the store. Avoid visiting and talking with friends and relatives, because we see that on Facebook. There's a connection. People get together because you don't know if that relative that you're meeting may be a carrier. So and then I really support the notion that we should even be going greater on the essential travel issue, and that's where I'd like Trevor to speak to that more, please.
Good day, citizens. Great to be here today to speak to you guys in regards to these extraordinary times that we're in with this pandemic and COVID. I just want to talk to you a little bit about prevention and some of the things that we can do to help mitigate our exposure to COVID. Don't try and figure out how you can avoid the rules or figure out ways they don't apply to you. It's time to only socialize and spend time with those who live in our household. So limit your time in public by doing big shopping trips and plan your trips into town. We know that in Port Alberni, there's places where we often see our family or see our relatives from abroad within New Toronto and across the island. I often see family when I go to areas like Smitty's or Walmart. These are definite places that we always come in contact with our family and relatives. And I think those are really critical for us to make sure that we maintain and remember those guidelines that we have with COVID and practice those guidelines so that we all remain safe and don't pass on this virus. A reminder that you could have the virus and not know. People without symptoms will pass on the virus to others. This could risk the health of people you love and care about. We are now asking citizens to do their own contact tracing. Keep your own records of when you came and went from the community and who you saw in case you need to report it. This is necessary to keep one another safe. If you get a positive test, isolate for at least 2 weeks. If you are tested and it comes back negative, remain isolated, as it may be a false negative and you could still give it to others. If you are sick at all, even if you are not sure if it is COVID, please do not go out and visit with anyone. Self-isolate for 2 weeks. If you happen to be sick or suspect you might be sick, we are here to help.
I'd just like to assure our citizens that there will be culture support during this this pandemic time. That there is virtual history nights. There is even just some of our citizens, myself, Edward, one of our council members, often goes and shares stories and songs on Facebook Live. So that's kind of like our way that we're reaching out during these times. And we also have Corey Howard, who's our culture support on staff, and he has sessions on Facebook as well as on Zoom, so that if you want to partake in any of those, any of those sessions, you're more than welcome. They're open to all of our citizens. And we hope that, it's something that is utilized, because, or speaking on behalf of myself and Corey and Edward, I know that it's something that means a great deal, that we have a way to connect, because when we speak through our songs and we speak through our stories and our history, it goes beyond ourselves. It has a greater reach, so it's not quite limited as we are physically, so it's able to reach and connect to people in a way that is nurturing our ancient spirit. So keep that in mind and watch out for Wišqii or Edward or Corey, for some of those cultural sessions on virtually.
We want to provide support to our citizens. Our number one priority is the health and safety and ensuring that our citizens get whatever support that they can get. And we are here to support our citizens. Wišqii, Edward, and myself are going to be offering cultural nights where we'll sing songs, and we're going to invite citizens to join us periodically. We'll just do it spontaneously throughout this period that we're isolated in our homes. And if you do need help, please reach out to us if you need any kind of emotional support, cultural support, whatever it may be. And sometimes we get requests, hey, Wišqii, can you go sing some songs tonight? Or can you sing some of my family songs tonight? We can do that kind of stuff, eh? And we ask our citizens, if you have any of your family members that are homeless, please let our office know, so that we can make sure that none of our citizens are homeless and become vulnerable to the COVID. So we need your help there. We want to find them housing. We want to be able to provide them housing, and we want to make sure that none of our citizens are on the street during this pandemic.
Annette Ginger from our administration office will be calling citizens to check in and see how they are doing. If you require any assistance, please let her know. So in the coming days and weeks, watch for more information on our website and social media channels, as information will be updated frequently. The Executive Council will be meeting every Monday at 10 a.m. to review our plans and make any additions and changes as needed. Huu-ay-aht leadership has the experts in place to support us. We respectfully ask that you pay attention to their direction.
Okay, good day, Huu-ay-aht. It's Cleation here. Just want to say again, it was wonderful to see each and every one of you at the People's Assembly this past weekend. As you know, there's been changes and there's been cases that have increased within our community, so it's hit really close to home. It's December 8th now, and we're nearing Christmas. It's a Christmas break coming up soon, and it's going to be a tough one for all of us. We're a large family, and we like to gather and we like to be around family, but we have to be respectful of the decisions that are being made by Bonnie Henry, and we as a nation and leaders are adjusting to these announcements. And I want our citizens to know that it's really challenging, it's really tough, but we want to reaffirm our commitment to our number one priority, and that's safety and health and wellness of our citizens. 85% of our population live away from our homelands. We'll do everything in our power to reach out to our citizens and have we need to know how we can look after our citizens. So feel free to reach out to our resources, and we'll do everything in our power to support you and help us get to this pandemic. Take these announcements very seriously. Be respectful. Uphold our values of Hiyiqh, sath, isaaq, and lalliis. Those are challenging times right now for us, but we're doing everything in our power to uphold these values and carry out what we need to for our citizens based on what your needs are. What we are asking our citizens to do is have hope. you know, and work within the announcements that are coming forward. You know, be positive, be respectful, be safe, wear masks. You know, we carry out what we're asking of us. That we'll be able to get through this. And then there's gonna be a short time down the road where we can gather again and be together. But until then, we need to ensure the health and safety of all of us, and that means following the announcements as they go.